Today we're going to take a look at our new Mobile Manager application for field maintenance of the Tucor controllers. On the login page, you'll see an opportunity to pick language, switch it to Spanish, back to English, depending on the user's needs. Go ahead and log in. And we'll pick one of the controllers you're looking at. Let's just say the test. On the Mobile Manager application, we've limited the user's ability to actually make changes in the field. This is strictly a maintenance and observation platform. In the top, you'll see the header. The first thing you'll see is an alarms bell, and based on the color, the alarms are rated in sense of urgency, green, yellow, and red being the most urgent. This title bar will tell you that it's in automatic. If it's gray, it's in manual. We then have what we call our widgets. The widgets are your management tools. And some of you may find that you have a different priority on what you want to see. So in this case, you may want to do your station survey. So what we can do is sort. We'll come down and say, I want to see station survey first. We'll move that to the top. And then maybe you'll want to see what's going on with flow. So we'll move that to the top, maybe electrical. And then we'll probably pull the modes to the bottom because that's not all that important to you. And then if you want to manually turn on a valve, we'll put that above moisture sensors and maybe programs. So it's a way for you to customize the management screen to your liking. So in this case, we'll go through each one of the widgets. For instance, station survey. You're in the field, you want to work, so let's take a quick look at what's going on in the field. So this is where we have all of your valves, 1 through potentially 100 on the RKS and D. And we want to select a station to begin your manual watering. So we'll come down and say, let's pick number 1. It'll turn on. We'll look at the flow rate. We'll look at any kind of voltage and current so you can manually see what's going on. And the station is started. And for whatever reason, maybe you feel that there's something out of ordinary, I can go ahead and fault toggle this, and that'll pull that unit out of the sequence until such time as you've gone in and repaired it. But then you can go ahead and click through to the next one. And expected flow of 99, flows within the systems, and whether or not there's a flow deviation plus or minus within the system. We then can stop it. And this is a way for you in the field to go through and toggle through every one of your valves to manually check for flow, voltage, and current in the station survey. If we want to look at then some of the widgets in detail, this is where we'd see what percentage of flow. So my capacity would be at 100%. And so the flow would be that percentage of the capacity. We're going to tell you whether you're deviating flow over or under, whether it's normal or whether it's overflow. On the electrical, we'll do a complete test to see what's running, what the current should be, what the voltage should be. If we're looking at individual valves, remember we toggled 1, so 0 are running out of 100, 1's faulted. This is where you could go to and check it. Programs, if I want to go to programs, I could manually turn on a program if I chose. Green means that it's active. The blanked out means it's in the passive mode. But let's say we want to come in and turn on a program. We manually started a program. It's turned on. 1 out of 38 is operating. How many stations, how many cycles, it was manually started. It includes however many stations. So that's a brief look at running the programs manually, the stations manually. If I had moisture sensors, this is where I could see whether I was, what the status of that moisture sensor is. Water consumption. This is where I'll be able to see what irrigated, how much irrigated, what I've got going on today, was there any leaks or unscheduled flow such as quick couplers and hose bibs, and then what I've got planned for tomorrow, how much water I plan to use. And then alerts. You know, I probably, if I'm a manager, I'm going to want alerts to be at the top. Now that I think about it, we'll pull this up to the top because this is a very thorough look at what's going on in the field for you. So when I come into, I'll stop the sorting. I come in and look at my alerts. As remember, I said I've got 9 total alarms or alerts going on, and depending on the color, whether it is green, yellow, or red, depends on the sense of urgency. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. You've got active, passive, seen, and fixed are the categories that we have here. Passive means that, as you can see, it was engaged and disengaged, so we don't have any active alarms. If we had an active alarm, it would have a time in but not a time out, so that's the difference between active and passive alarms. And then we'll get into, say, missing ET. And so what we'll do is we'll have an explanation of what the alarm is, when that fact it's inactive because it started and stopped. Then we'll give you suggestions as to what might be the problem, and then any messages where you can come in and type your response in the field, so it goes back to the management team to see what's happening with that particular alarm. At this point, you could type in another message. I could mark it as being seen, or I can mark it as being fixed, and once it's being marked as fixed, then it goes away. So it's a very it's a great tool for being in the field and managing all the various alarms that you're going to see in your system. So that's a brief rundown of the new manager for web apps, and that's what we have for today.